Alright, welcome back everyone. This is Sweet Sour, and I'm going to be providing a video to help understand and maybe make some tweaks for the restoration part of my WeCourse compilation. So let's get right into it. We're going to type w/wa to get into our compilation. And so just to start, actually, I separated the unused blocks icons just to make it a little easier to hide them and unhide them. So you can keep them in the main compilation, like they're normally at the bottom of the Resto, and likewise for Elemental. So that's basically what they look like by themselves. I'm going to enable all of Resto and hide the used blocks. By the way, these little eyes allow you to see the entirety of its group contents. So if you're having a problem with, for example, I'm going to hide them all, you wanted to see Healing Rain, but you also wanted to see Astral Shift, but you're clicking on it, you can't see one, you would click on Astral Shift little eyeball there, and you're on Healing Rain, so now you can see both. But for this example, we're just going to use all of them. So just to kind of outline what we have to offer. We have this graphic here for Lava Surge, so that will be active when you have Lava Surge. Same thing applies to Elemental. And I made them a progress texture, so as you can see, they're losing opacity. So that's basically the timer, or the time remained left on Lava Surge. And obviously that has to deal with Flame Shock, which is right here. It's at a different location than Elemental, simply because I had all these things to fill out with Resto, but I didn't want to make it a little obtuse and like putting it to the side and just kind of messing up the flow of the design and the layout, so I decided to put it up in the middle. To me, that still seems aesthetically pleasing. So then right here you have Riptide, and so with all these things you see the timer that will be available to them when obviously they're on cooldown, and these in particular, Lava Surge and Riptide, can be affected by Echo the Elements. So those are the stacks that will appear when Echo the Elements is active. Then you got Healing Rain, Purify Spirit, Spirit Walker's Grace, Astral Shift, Unleash Life, Gust of Wind, Wellspring, and this one in particular, by the way, shares its square with Ascendance because they're on the same talent bar. So when you switch to Ascendance, okay, well, we'll get to that in a moment. It's because I'm showing everything, so Wellspring is actually just on top regardless. Then you get Lava Burst, and then Ancestral Guidance. Now you get all the timer bars as well. So you have the ones for Ancestral Guidance, Ascendance, Astral Shift, Spirit Walker's Grace, and Unleash Life. And because they're all showing, they should be showing in a... you should be able to see them all, but they're actually on top of themselves right now, and I've coded them in such a way where whenever a certain amount are active, it's actually going to be pushed down to the bottom of the list to, well, we'll show you when it happens. I don't think there's much else that needs to be dealt with. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go into tweaking things. So, for example, Flame Shock is set up so I believe when there's 5 seconds left... Yes, when there's 5 seconds left, it will show the glow animation to let you know to reapply Flame Shock. So this can actually be tweaked or adjusted to your liking, and it's this number right here. So that's basically saying if Remain is equal or lesser than 5, then trigger the glow. So you can change that to 10 seconds if you wanted to. You can change it to 1 second. But however, the thing to keep in mind is when you do this change, you have to go into the custom untrigger as well and change the 5 there. And I don't think you need to do it for this. No, you don't. Yeah, so you just need to do it for glow. Similarly, it could be done for... Nope, sorry, never mind. That's just always going to be there when Lava Surge is available. I think that's the only glow of its kind for restoration. Yeah. So, Let me actually get... Yeah. Seeing as these things launch in combat, I'm just going to use Purge, excuse me, to keep us in combat. So we're in combat, and as you can see, we have Flame Shock glowing because this target that I'm targeting does not have Flame Shock applied. So we're going to apply it. Sorry. And now this is showing a timer, by the way, a little cooldown, and that's just covering the 6-second cooldown that Flame Shock has for Resto. Obviously, that does not apply to Elemental. So this target has Flame Shock, but we're going to go over to this target. It doesn't have it, so the glow comes back. So we're going to get into our healing abilities. I'm running out of mana. So that's going to show the timer that's remaining on Riptide. And now that I think about it, I'm going to have to add a timer to show the amount of stacks and time left on tidal waves, so that'll definitely be in the next update. And if it's already in this compilation, then this video is obviously old. Then you got Healing Rain, and its cooldown is going. And that pretty much shares, like, its duration shares its timer with the cooldown, so you need to worry about that. I can't show you the cooldown for Purify Spirit simply because I have nothing to cleanse, and obviously if I don't cleanse anything, it's not going to trigger the timer. So now we're going to get into abilities where it has the duration timer down at the bottom. So I'm actually going to trigger Spirit Walker's Grace, Jesus, Astral Shift, and Unleash Life. And then you'll see what I was talking about, how the duration bars, timer bars, move as however many timers are available. Alright, so let's do Spirit Walker's Grace, that, and that. There you go. So you got all three timers. They're in the right locations, so it's going to move up. Yep. Coding, yay. And it shows all the respective cooldowns. Do I have a... Yes, I do. So then Gust of Wind shows that cooldown. And then you got Wellspring. Thank you for leaving combat. Actually, I'm going to attack you because I'm pretty sure you don't leave combat with him. Okay, then you got Lava Burst. And there you go. It's flashing because we have Flame Shock on that person. And then we have another timer bar for Ancestral Guidance, and then its cooldown. So now let's get into the totems. And the totem notifiers, or notifications, or timers, whatever you want to call them, they're over here. And I've coded them in such a way where they're going to be laid out differently based on how many of the totems you have available to you. So in this case, we do not have Cloudburst Totem, so that's why it's formed in a diamond. If we did, it would be in a pentagon, and if we had no totems, so for example, if we didn't have these two, one of these two rather, and Cloudburst Totem, it would actually be formed as a triangle. I can get into that a little bit later. And then this one here is for your utility totems. So one of the three, Voodoo, Earth Grab, or Lightning Surge. So obviously only one will be shown at one time. So this will show you what those look like. So that's just showing you the duration right now of Healing Stream Totem. And we'll let that count down because I've coded it in such a way where once it ticks down, it'll switch to cooldown. So now it's red and it's showing the remaining cooldown as, 10 seconds counting down. So then we'll go into the other totems, showing that one, and that one. So you got all your timers going, got all your cooldowns, and then once it's no longer, like when the totem is ready to be used, it just fades out to the way it was. We'll use Voodoo Totem. And there you go, it's over there. Alright, now because that stupid tank totem is keeping me in combat, I actually need to run out. And my Ghost Wolf is not working for some reason. Called Light Mount. It's amazing. It basically gives you a list of... It's kind of like the favorite list in the mounts, but it adds the addition where if you're moving, it'll put you in a Ghost Wolf instead. Saves on the amount of buttons you need to have on action bars. Anyway, so we are going to go to put Cloudburst Totem on. It's not there. Is it not being shown? Oh yeah, it's down here in Totem Durations. Yeah, here we go. There. So now you can see it's being formed in a pentagon state. I'm actually going to move this so I can show you in more real time. Alright, so we're going to get rid of that. And it's showing the elemental totems. I don't want that. Apologies. L is for liquid magma. There it is. Alright, there we go. So it's back to a diamond, and then we'll get rid of that, and now it's a triangle. And then obviously we have the two potential utility totems, so we have our voodoo, but we're going to do wind rush as well. So now it's going to split it into two. And we'll show that, and obviously because we're showing everything, it's not actually going to show that. But that's basically the general idea of the totem durations. I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. Now let's get into Echo the Elements and Riptide and Lava Surge. So let's get into combat. So now you got your stack showing for Riptide and Lava Burst. God. Alright, so let's do a Riptide. So it's going to show an overlay. That's just giving you the idea of the remaining cooldown that's left on that charge. Then it's going to go back to 2 stacks. So if we go that and do another one right off the bat, then it's going to show us remaining cooldown of the main ability. It's going to go back to 1 stack and so on. And it's going to be the same concept for Lava Burst. So it's going to show the cooldown for the first charge. If I use it again, it's going to do the flat out cooldown. And away we go. It's recharging again. So we're going to get a combat. And we're going to unlearn all possible abilities. So I guess it doesn't matter. To lose, so we lose Ancestral Guidance. We're going to keep that off. That's fine. And there. So basically all the bottom row should be X's, meaning they're not used. Oh, except for Lava Surge, so that's... yeah, can't do anything about that. Anyways, so, as you remember, this middle bottom row icon was a Wellspring, but now that we have Ascendance will be showing, and there it is. So Ascendance and Wellspring shares the same icon, but obviously you can't have 2 at the same time, so it will not cause any conflicts. As far as any other tweaking goes, I don't think there's much left of the sort for Resto. It's pretty basic. So you know what? I think we are actually done with the video. So be sure to watch the Elemental video. I think it's a bit more to do with tweaking and whatnot, because there's a lot more available to you as a spec, whereas with Resto it's more about totems. So I mean, I've already shown you the totem durations and whatnot, but yeah, just hopefully this gives you an idea of how Resto works, the tweak you can do on Flame Shock, and potential other abilities that will be found in Elemental that could be tweaked. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm really glad that everyone's enjoying this. Remember, if you have any suggestions, comments, or bug reports, you can just message me on the WoW forums post that I made. I made one on Reddit. I obviously have these YouTube videos. And you can also battle tag me if you'd like. I'll put the text in the video, but in case that doesn't work, it's Sweet Sour hashtag 11996. Alright, thanks again for watching, guys, and I look forward to getting the enhancement portion done on this compilation.